For centuries, the Galactic Council believed it had seen every kind of civilization the universe could produce. There were peaceful species that spoke only in harmonic frequencies. There were ancient machine empires that had outlived their creators. There were warrior cultures that worshipped conquest and measured honor in blood. But there was one species the Council believed it understood perfectly: humans. Fragile, young, divided, emotional. They had joined the Galactic Council only 80 years earlier, barely a blink of time compared to civilizations that had existed for tens of thousands of years. Humanity was considered clever but unpredictable, technologically capable but politically immature. In other words, manageable. Or so the Council believed. The massive chamber of the Galactic Council floated above the surface of a gas giant, its crystalline walls reflecting the light of distant stars. Delegates from 100 civilizations filled the circular hall. At the center stood a single human representative, Ambassador Elias Ward. He stood calmly behind the podium, his posture straight, his dark uniform perfectly pressed. His expression was calm, too calm. Across from him sat the representatives of the Zorath Dominion, a reptilian empire known for brutal expansion across several star systems. Their species had conquered worlds long before humanity had invented radio. And today, they had come to negotiate. Or rather, to demand. The Zorath Supreme Envoy, towering and scaled, leaned forward. "Humanity has interfered with Dominion operations in the Karsis sector," the envoy hissed, its voice echoing through the chamber. "You have destroyed 3 Dominion fleets and occupied 2 strategic systems. This violates Council peace accords." Murmurs spread through the chamber. Several alien delegates glanced nervously at the human ambassador. The Zorath continued. "You will withdraw your forces immediately. In exchange, the Dominion will allow your species to retain diplomatic standing within the Council." Allow. The word hung in the air like poison. Ambassador Ward didn't respond immediately. Instead, he looked slowly around the chamber, at the dozens of alien species watching him, at the ancient empires who believed humanity was still a child civilization. Finally, he spoke. "Allow me to clarify something," Ward said calmly. He tapped a control panel. A hologram appeared in the center of the chamber. A planet, blue oceans, white clouds, continents burning. Gasps echoed around the room. "That," Ward said quietly, "was Colony Karsis IV." The Zorath envoy remained silent. Ward continued. 3 weeks ago, the United Earth Defense Command activated Protocol Black Horizon. The chamber grew uneasy. The Zorath envoy narrowed his eyes. "And what does that mean, human?" Ward looked at it calmly. "It means we stopped pretending we were weak." The hologram expanded again. Now it showed Zorath territory, dozens of systems, half of them flashing red. The council erupted in shocked whispers. Ward spoke over the noise. "In the last 72 hours, human fleets have destroyed 27 Dominion military installations." Another image appeared. Zorath shipyards burning, orbital defenses collapsing, planetary blockades forming. The Zorath envoy slammed its claws on the table. "You dare." Ward raised a hand. "And we're not finished." Silence fell like gravity. Ward's voice dropped. "You see, the Galactic Council has many rules." He looked slowly at the assembled delegates. "Rules about diplomacy, rules about trade, rules about war." He turned back toward the Zorath. "But humanity has only one rule." The human ambassador's eyes hardened. "You don't massacre our people." The Zorath envoy leaned forward. "You believe this intimidation will force us into negotiation." Ward shook his head slowly. "No." Then he said the words that would echo across the galaxy for generations. "We don't negotiate with killers." For the first time, the Galactic Council saw something new in a human face. Not anger, not grief, something colder. Resolve. The hologram shifted again. Now it showed a massive structure emerging from hyperspace, a human warship. But it was larger than anything the Council had ever seen, nearly the size of a small moon. Several alien delegates stood up in alarm. "What is that?" one whispered. Ward answered calmly. "That is the UNS Retribution." The ship's weapon systems powered up across the hologram like a rising storm, energy signatures beyond anything the Council had recorded. The Zorath envoy's confidence cracked slightly. "You would not risk galactic war." Ward met its gaze. "We didn't start one." He paused. "But we will finish it." A new projection appeared. Human fleets surrounding the Zorath capital system, thousands of ships, planetary siege formations, complete strategic dominance. For the first time in recorded history, the Zorath Dominion had been outmaneuvered. The reptilian envoy stared at the display. "How?" Ward answered quietly. For 80 years, the Council believed humanity was still learning how to exist among the stars. He gave a faint smile. "That assumption helped us a lot." A ripple of uneasy realization spread through the chamber. Humanity wasn't weak. They had been patient, preparing, watching, building. Ward leaned slightly toward the Zorath envoy. "You killed 12 million civilians." His voice was calm, almost conversational. "And now you want negotiations." The Zorath envoy said nothing. Ward pressed one final control. The hologram displayed a countdown. 12:00:00. "This is the evacuation timer for your capital world." Gasps filled the chamber. "You're threatening planetary destruction?" a council member cried. Ward shook his head slowly. "No." He looked directly at the Zorath envoy. "We're giving civilians time to leave." A pause. Then he added, "Something you didn't give ours." The chamber fell into stunned silence. The Zorath envoy's claws trembled slightly. "You would annihilate an entire empire." Ward's answer came without hesitation. "No." Then his eyes hardened. "We're dismantling it." Across the chamber, the alien delegates stared at the human ambassador, and for the first time since humanity had joined the Galactic Council, they understood something terrifying. The youngest species in the room was also the most dangerous. The countdown continued. 11:59:10. Ward stepped away from the podium. "Humanity will not seek revenge, but we will deliver justice." He paused at the chamber exit. Then he turned back one last time. "And if any civilization here believes they can slaughter our people and sit at this table afterward," his voice dropped to a whisper that somehow echoed across the massive chamber, "think again." As the doors closed behind him, dozens of alien delegates slowly turned to look at the trembling Zorath envoy, and one horrifying truth settled over the Galactic Council. Humanity had just declared a new law of the galaxy, and everyone had heard it. We don't negotiate with killers.